Hey, you, welcome to another episode of Real Talk. Now, if you've heard Big Dawgs, which who hasn't, but if you've heard Big Dawgs, Run It Up, Jungle by Frappe Ash, Pyar, Yashraj, or even the whole Dhurandhar soundtrack now, barring probably the title track, then you've definitely heard the work of today's guest. But chances are you have never seen him. But that's because the person responsible for making these massive layered tracks sound the way they do is the mix and mastering engineer. And one name that keeps appearing in the credits of some of the biggest culture shifting tracks of today is Akash Shravan. And if you've been following my channel for a while, you know that I always pay a lot of attention to all the names in the credits beyond the artist and producer, because there are people behind the scenes who are very important and who are shaping the sound that we hear today. So the one song that really made me sit up and admire Akash's skill set and ways was Jungle by Frappe Ash. I was blown away by that insane song, and I was wondering, how has this track been mixed and mastered, because it is so difficult to work with a track this dense with these many layers and still the result still be something that is so clean, so precise, and so just powerful. Right. So I checked the credits, and of course, there it was, mix and master Akash Shravan. And that's also when we first connected, because he thanked me for noticing how difficult it must have been to mix master that track. So that was our first conversation. And after that, I kept seeing his name appear in the credits of some of the biggest tracks of our times. And I've been wanting to sit down and talk to him since Jungle. And luckily, it finally happened when we were in Bombay City at the same time. So I wanted to talk to him not just about the songs, but also just the craft of mixing and mastering, and the mindset behind it when you're trying to deliver the emotion and the feeling of that song, but you're also simultaneously working on so many projects at the same time. And so the thousands of like small tiny decisions that go into shaping how we finally hear a song. So I really wanted to understand all of that, and of course get to know the man behind the mixing, behind the engineering, behind the producing some of the biggest records in the scene right now. So thank you, Akash, for staying back in Bombay and shooting this episode with me. And just so you guys know, we were going to walk and talk through the entire episode, but then neither one of us anticipated the heat of Bombay, because it was January and I was not expecting it to be that hot. So anyway, I almost fainted at one point when I couldn't take it anymore. So thank you, Sanjana and Chandraban and Akash, for being so sweet, so understanding. We almost canned the interview at that point, but then thank you, massive thank you to my friend Pankil Shah for coming through and helping us shoot the remainder of the episode at Woodside in Colaba. If you guys haven't been, make sure you go there. One of the best neighborhood eateries out there. And if you like beer, then of course that's your spot. But yes, thank you, Woodside in Colaba. And this episode is therefore shot in two different places, part 1, part 2. You'll see it, and I hope you enjoy the conversation, you find value in it, and I hope anyone who wants to go down the same path as Akash takes away a lot of knowledge from this conversation and chat. So let's get right into it. This is Real Talk, episode 20 with Akash Shravan.
What's up?
How are you doing, Akash?
I'm good.
Good to see you.
Good to
Thank
see
you for
you
doing
too.
this.
Damn. Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah.
Are you nervous? Is it your first interview?
Actually, yeah, this is my first
It
interview.
is. It is. It's a little hot, no?
Yeah.
But we had to make it happen because this is your last day in Bombay. It's my only day in Bombay where we overlap.
Only day.
Yeah, the only day we overlap.
Fair.
But we got to get to know you better today. Are you ready for my grilling?
Yeah. Let's do it.
Let's do it. Let's walk a bit and enjoy the amazing marine drive. I want you to walk this side actually, because he's going to get you more on camera.
Okay.
Cool. So tell me, how did music happen? I want to just go back to how you landed, where you landed. Go right to the start. When did music enter your life?
Okay. So, I was learning keyboard when I was very young. I was put to piano lessons when I was younger.
Okay.
And with time, as my interest towards composing, like playing covers of songs, that was the genesis.
Okay.
Eventually, I found my first DAW called FL Studio.
When was this?
This was 2011, 2012.
Okay.
And then I go to YouTube and I start searching, okay, how do I've seen people connect their keyboards to a computer and press a bunch of keys and it get recorded there. I was like, oh, damn, how do they do it?
Yeah.
Because I can play keys and if I can get that into a computer, it sounds good.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, in the parallel, I was listening to a lot of hip hop, Eminem, Slim Shady, all of that.
Clearly.
So,
Yeah.
And that creeped up an interest. Okay, you can make beats and you can get your sound into the computer and something different happens. So that's when this journey started. I started making beats since then, also YouTube tutorials and all of that.
2011, 2012.
2011, 2012, exactly.
I did find that you were uploading covers, piano covers on Facebook.
Facebook and Insta. You saw that?
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
And I wanted to know at that moment, what were you looking for really? Was it the joy or was it an audience? In those early
Really, I was just excited because I'm seeing myself playing the keyboard and it sounds good.
Yeah.
That's it. I did have a YouTube channel then.
Oh, you did?
I did.
We need to dig this out. I did
can't
not
find
find this.
So
Okay.
that happened. And
So it was for the joy of it, just to
Just-
share. And,
nothing serious. I didn't want anything to come out of it. I just liked doing it. And yeah, eventually this was the Facebook era when I used to find this is when Desi hip hop. This was before Desi hip hop. I see a lot of these rappers asking for beats and start posting their freestyle videos. And
Yeah.
I used to cold DM rappers saying, "Yo, I am a beat producer too. Can I share my beats?" And one of these rappers from Delhi was my first collaboration / client. This was in 2013.
Who was that?
I don't think he's rapping anymore.
Okay.
And
Because you had an early collab with Encore, I saw that.
no, that was
way after.
2020. Yeah, this is
Okay.
2013, 2014, around
Okay.
that time.
Okay.
So I send him a beat and he raps over my beat and he packages into a CD
Okay.
and sends me a copy of it. I'm like, damn, okay, so we are making something different. I'm not just playing EPs anymore.
Yeah. Oh,
So
okay.
that's when I started understanding, okay, this is beat production. And since I was already listening to Eminem, Dr. Dre became a very key icon. And then the production part of the songs, Eminem songs, then I discovered it was Dr. Dre. And then there came a YouTube rabbit hole. How to make beats. How do I make it sound good? So on and so forth. And then fast forward, send the beats to random rappers on Facebook. And one guy reached out saying he really likes the stuff I've been doing and sent me a beat, and that became a song. That's when I was introduced into the process of song making.
Okay. And then your interest in being a producer also, I'm guessing, developed.
That was the
right?
first.
That was the first?
That was the first.
Okay.
Didn't know anything about mixing, didn't know the term called mixing existed.
That's what I'm wondering. So you started as a producer.
Yeah.
Okay, lovely. And then when did the mix mastering thing begin for you?
So after starting to produce, I produced a lot of records for rappers back in Chennai.
Yeah.
And we used to pay for other sound engineers to mix songs. And it was a little expensive. We couldn't afford it then. So I just went on YouTube, saying, how do I mix a song? How to mix in FL Studio for beginners? And
Should we stop here for a sec?
Yeah.
It's shade.
Yeah.
Okay. And then
that rabbit hole started.
which year was this?
This was 2016, 17. That's when Says on the Beat was a thing. Tana Says Beats.
Yeah.
Shout out to them.
Yeah.
I was like, how are their beats sounding so good? How?
Yeah.
Why am I not able to? Why are my beats not sounding like that? That's when I realized there's something called mixing
Yeah.
and sound selection. And then I used to hit up Says on Facebook. I used to message him saying, yo, the beats are too damn good. How are they sounding so well?
You've been talking to him since then.
Yeah, I was this fanboy, still a fan.
So him shouting out Pyas now is like full circle, no?
A lot of full circles.
Yeah.
A lot of full circles.
Okay.
But then, that's when I realized you need to mix a song. You will mix a beat for it to sound good.
Yeah.
In that process, I started reaching out to other people who produce, who's mixing your beats. And then I realized they mix their own beats. And that's when this rabbit hole started. I started focusing more on this sound selection. Okay, I need to choose a sound which sounds good so that in the mixing stage, it's already there and I don't have to do much. Eventually, I started mixing songs. It was shit at first. It was complete crap. The beat sounded good, but the vocals weren't sounding great.
Okay.
So that's when I realized I need more
You need to
time.
fine tune your craft and work.
More time. I need to spend more time mixing. So then I put in the hours. Then fast forward COVID 2020, had a lot of time in our hands. I was working a day job then.
Okay.
2018,
This whole time you were working?
2018 I started my day job
Okay.
right after college.
Oh, okay.
And I was
So you were very young in 2011, 12.
16, 15. Yeah. And when I started working, I didn't have much time to produce them because it's a 9 to 5. There's nothing much you can do.
Yeah.
So 5 to 9, I started watching YouTube tutorials. How do I mix songs? Again, I didn't have that much creative freedom also to make.
Yeah.
And that turned into something else. Then COVID happened. Again, a lot of we were all sent to home, work from home, and all of that stuff was happening.
That's when I started YouTube.
Yeah.
Yeah. So much free time.
That's when my mixing career started too, in terms of a career, because then suddenly there's a lot of artists. There's a lot of people who want to make music and who want to put it out.
Huh. When did you start getting inquiries from artists like, bro, we need you to mix our song?
So that has been happening since 2018 on and off.
Okay.
And it wasn't constant because people knew of me because I was a producer and I was making good beats. And they're like, can you mix a song? And I would be like, sure. And I used to post it on Instagram. Mixing and mastering services available for cheap prices. And the tagline was DM to get your tracks sounding expensive or something like that. And I used to post it very frequently, like once a week. I'll be religious with it. And I think, I knew Hanumankind as a rapper.
Okay.
And he knew me as a producer.
Okay.
So I used to, we always had this thing where, I'm sending you a beat, write something over it. He writes something over it, but we never made it as songs.
Yeah.
So eventually he knew that my sound was good. He knew I was mixing well.
Yeah.
So he was like, can you master this song for me? It was Genghis, his very first big, Until then I was mixing with other artists here and there. But this song really put me on the map. So when I worked with him and the song sort of blew up then, that's when rappers from the rest of the country started reaching out. Yeah. Like, yo, the sound is good.
So Genghis, how do you pronounce it?
Genghis
only. Okay, so Genghis was the starting point. And
my professional career.
Yeah. I want to go down the Hanumankind rabbit hole in a bit. But before that, for a lot of people who are watching and even people who want to turn into engineers someday, and the layperson who appreciates your sound and everything you do, explain like you would to a 5-year-old the difference between mixing and mastering.
Interesting. There's a lot of answers for this, but I'm going to try to keep it as simple as possible.
Yeah.
So, you put a bunch of sounds together and it's all in a certain volume, it's all in a certain level. It can't be, 9 times out of 10, if they aren't put right, they won't sound good.
Yeah.
Mixing is the part of making it sound good by adjusting the volume.
All the tracks, all the layers.
Some sounds need not hit your ear that loud. Some sounds need to be in the back of your ear so it doesn't hinder the other sounds working with it. That process is called mixing. And mastering is just making sure whatever you mix in whatever volume, some are going to be high, some are going to be low. Yeah. Mastering is the process of making sure that that volume stays consistent throughout any other device you work on.
Wherever you're listening.
Thank you.
Yeah, so mastering is the process of making sure it sounds good everywhere. Wherever
it
you're
sounds
listening
consistent, it sounds the same way, and the volume doesn't drop. So when you switch songs on Spotify or any devices, correct? Do you go to the volume knob directly every time?
No.
It just stays the same.
It stays the same.
Because there is a level, there is a measurement to which all songs are mastered to. That is the process of mastering.
So
you meet the standards, you meet the international standards.
Oh, good point. I'm coming to that. But when you are mastering it, how are you making sure the emotion and feeling stays consistent across all the devices without flattening the sound?
So that
this is a bit
primarily, it is a little technical, but I'm going to try and break it down as easy as I can. So that comes in the production and songwriting phase. It comes before it touches the mix.
Okay.
Because demos, you might hear random Instagram demos. They're not mixed, they're not mastered. It's a guy with a guitar, for just sake. It's just a guy with a guitar who's singing into the camera.
Yeah.
And that sounds good. So emotions come before production, before mixing. And mixing and mastering, think of it like applying makeup and making it look good. That's all.
But you've said somewhere that when you get a session, it's raw and it's dry, and you need to add the emotional soul to it when you start the mix. So I know the artist has the emotion and feeling packed into what he's written, but what is that adding emotional layer about?
So I think that I'd like to credit to my production knowledge.
Yeah.
Because I think of it like I think like a producer sometimes when I'm mixing. If something is not there, some emotion is not there in the song, It could be a vocal take where the guy is like screaming, but it's just not landing right. So how can I make it better? Can I duck down the rest of the elements of the production so that stands out? So there I sort of tend to think like a producer and not just like, values, numbers, frequencies. No. There I bring into, again, which brings back to the composition side of it, the production side of it.
Yeah.
Whatever is required before it reaches the mix stage,
it
needs to be there. And I try my best to bring it before starting a track.
Okay, interesting. And when you say so I'm trying to think of how to phrase this. But when you're adding emotion to a mix, is there because you've said before that you like to play with waves.
Yeah.
Is that you talking about emotion, or is that just a plugin related statement?
It's me talking about emotions executed through plugins sometimes.
Okay.
Plugins are just a tool.
Yeah.
They don't necessarily convey emotions. It helps you to get to the destination.
Yeah. Okay.
But it's all the thought you put. Mixing is more thinking and applying the skill rather than using which tool and what. The tools doesn't matter actually.
Tools doesn't matter. Okay. Interesting. So does actual studying mixing matter?
Of course, you need to know the fundamentals.
Fundamentals, right?
And okay, so
master the rules before you break them. Basically, that.
I mean, I feel like it's an ongoing process. You can't master, because mixing, you just get better over time. The older you get, the more refined your ears get. So it's not all
critical listening.
Exactly. And to just add on to the sentence, the tools. We were talking about tools, and you asked me if it's important to
learn
the fundamentals.
Yeah.
Yes.
Even to get a degree in sound engineering.
Oh yeah, I never got a degree.
Okay.
I don't think it's. I mean, sure, if it is essential if that's the kind of field. So mixing has a lot of subcategories. You can mix into movies, you can mix for films, you can make immersive mix, so on and so forth. There's a lot of subcategories depending on what you want to do. Some qualifications, if you wanted like a day job situation, they will ask for a degree.
Yeah. Exactly.
And if you're a kid who's just like, okay, I want to do sound engineering because I want to get into the movie field, of course you might need a degree.
Yeah.
Because that's the easiest way you can get the access.
Yeah.
But for me, it wasn't like a goal or it wasn't like a plan.
Yeah.
Okay, I need to do this. It just happened. Everything just happened and I just took it one day at a time.
Okay.
So knowledge, sure, you keep studying, you keep learning every day, you keep learning and you listen. And that's about it. And in terms of applying it, in terms of breaking the rules per se, you break them every day because you do something which you're not familiar with and it sounds good, you've already broken a rule.
Got it. So when you're working across genres, which you do a lot, pop, R&B, hip-hop, everything, films you're doing, is there something that stays consistent in your approach with mixing? And is there something that changes with the genre?
I don't think it's genre specific. I just know again, that's where I go by feel. I just know what I feel when I listen to that song in specific. I just know what I'm feeling and what I want to feel more.
Yeah.
In technical terms, sure, I would want the vocals to be here, the drums to sound like this, so on and so forth, but it could not translate between genres.
Okay.
Like hip-hop is primarily focused on drums and vocals, but pop, not much so. Pop is more vocals and the music and drums for sure.
Yeah.
So it is very specific to the song you're about to watch.
Because MSM, he's an engineer in the drill scene in the UK, one of the early guys. He lectured us in London during my masters, and he made a statement in class saying, I don't believe in genres. I don't care for genres. It's just the sound. It's got an emotion. It's a song.
Yeah, I think I can relate to that statement.
Yeah, so you're on the same page with that statement.
Because I can't put myself, I only mix hip-hop, I only mix pop. I mix sound.
Yeah.
Whatever it is.
Yeah.
I'll figure it out.
Yeah.
Doesn't have to have a reference. It doesn't have to be there.
Yeah.
I'll try to interpret it like how I hear it. And if people like it, they resonate with it. Else I'll figure out another way to put it out.
So when you are mixing, just out of curiosity, how many average tracks you have in a mix? Like a song like Jungle, which blew my mind. How did you do this?
Jungle, I think there was 150-ish. I don't remember because it's been like a couple of years.
Yeah.
And that varies, and honestly that doesn't matter because I've mixed large sounding songs which only had like 15 tracks and I mixed tracks which had like 400 plus stems. So
400 plus.
Yeah,
I thought 200 was the max.
You can keep going depending
Sorry, I'm
on the
very
song.
I'm a noob, so
That's okay.
So when you get a song to start mixing, what do you first listen for? Is it the groove, clarity, feeling?
It's definitely the feeling.
Okay.
Because when artists make music, they tend to live with it for a bit before sending it for a mix. And they would have played it to their homies, they would have played it to their families, and they themselves, it's like a baby they produce. And they probably felt something while doing it and after doing it. So I'd like to start from there.
Yeah.
How did the song make you feel when you wrote it, when you recorded it, when you finished the production?
Yeah.
You heard it together. What was the feeling you lived with it as an artist? That's what I try to hear when I get a track.
And you talk to the artist obviously a lot to understand.
It depends. And if, again, that most times I don't, most times I do.
Okay.
If it's someone I know, if it's an artist I really know and I really know their music, I sort of know what they're looking for. And it's sort of like a language we build over time. For example, my frequent collaborators, Yashraj or Hanumankind, I don't even have to speak to them. They send me the stems, I send me the song, I send in the song, they're like, it sounds good, let's go to the next version.
Oh, nice.
Because it's something we build over time.
You build over time.
Yeah. But, yeah.
With the ones you don't work frequently, because you got to build that trust.
I hear the demo, I see what they have to say.
Yeah.
Some of them are very expressive as to, I wrote the song because of this, that. And I hear all of that. And since there is a small language barrier for me when it comes to Hindi, so I tell them, yo, can you break down the lyrics for me? It might be helpful for me to enhance any specific portions.
Yeah. So you want to understand the song lyrics as well. Let's look for some water now.
Yeah.
It's so hot.
Yeah.
But thank you for doing this. This is all heat I was expecting in January. But so the whole aspect of you working remotely, does that impact the like, because you got to build trust with a song, like you said, as a baby, every collaborator who's invited to be a part of it has to have a certain level of trust with the artist. I think now your work is so good that people just trust you anyway. But you obviously must have had to build that over time with artists you don't work with frequently, yeah?
Sure.
So,
But this online thing has never been a hindrance because everything happened online. I met artists. Sorry?
COVID is when you started.
Yeah, COVID is when I started, and it was all they hear my songs. I mean, hear my mixes on Spotify and YouTube, and like, this sounds good. So can I get my song done? Yeah, here you go, done. That's it. And years later is when I actually meet them for the first time. Like, oh, this is how I look. People didn't know how I look.
You haven't even met the guys?
I met a lot of artists who I work on a regular. I still haven't met them in person. So it never really hindered us in any way because Zoom was there. We just FaceTime.
It's fine. There's no trust being lost over that, right?
Yeah.
And I want to get to the specific artists you work with, but because you have 200 plus points, you're in the top 1% on Muso, I think, if I remember correctly. You work with so many. How do you stay emotionally present in every song without going on autopilot?
It's a very difficult question, but I keep moving fast. I have bandwidth segregation or whatever you want to call it.
Oh, really?
I sit with the song till the first version is out.
Yeah.
I'm fully invested in the emotions of the song. And right after the first version is out, I take a small break, go on to the next song, absorb that emotion.
Are you serious? That's so difficult to even imagine.
And you get used to it.
So you have that on-off switch?
Yeah. Which was so hard to build, but I think I'm getting better at it.
Oh, yeah, I think you're very good at it.
Yeah, because again, here I can't work like an artist here. I need to be like a machine because songs needs to be out. And if I'm working with 10 artists, 5 of them have the same same release day. So I can't afford to have
to slack off or slow with
feel
it.
too much. So I need to feel quick, think quick.
Feel quick and next. Feel it and next. Oh my God. So how has that changed you as a person over time? Do you feel any like personality changes?
Sure, it did.
You're
in the
more
beginning.
patient or you're more, I don't know, like.
Yeah. So patience definitely it went up a notch.
Yeah.
I started becoming more and more patient.
Yeah.
And
there's no water guy. Okay. Let's keep talking.
that's okay.
Okay, वहाँ है कोई आगे. Yeah. So what have you learned about yourself?
That I have a lot of patience.
Okay.
I don't know, I have
In this industry.
Yeah, I have a lot of patience, and I can get to a destination quick. I can make moves quick. I don't have to. I trust my ears so much that I know I'm right. Might sound a little odd, but I think I trust my ears.
That's just professional confidence, and it's come with time, right? So, has there ever been a time where an artist has pushed back on your mix and said, "I don't like it. It's not perfect yet"? asked you to make changes?
In the beginning, sure.
Okay.
And you learn from that, correct?
Yeah.
Those are the things you learn from.
Yeah.
Every artist might have a thing or two to say, and that's constructive feedback because they bring, like, it all stems from that emotion part. They felt something a certain way.
Yeah.
And having all of these sort of sandwiched into one, I'm able to understand better. So naturally, if a new artist comes, he's like, this is a song and this is why I wrote it. I have all these lessons, which all the feedbacks which the other artists, I don't entirely like this because this is not suiting this emotion of the song. So all of this you take and you apply it. So eventually, I don't get as much of like, okay, I didn't like, I stopped getting
I'm not
that.
surprised. And have you ever pushed back and told an artist, bro, trust me, this sounds good, in the rare cases?
Yeah. If it's an up and coming artist,
Oh, okay.
a lot of times.
Oh, okay.
It's a lot of times because I'd like my mixes to sound, sorry?
Experience matters. Huh?
Not really, not just experience, it's just that taste. More than experience, I'd say taste. New taste buds are relatively new, like they're fresh and they think it will work. And I'm not saying it won't, I'm saying it could not. If we can be open with that idea, we can make a good song.
Yeah.
And also, I don't mean to say whatever I'm saying will work or will not work. I might be wrong. I've been wrong a lot of times. But end of the day, it's one goal, making that song sound good. It doesn't just come from me. It also comes from the artist's willingness to let go and pull back.
Yeah. Also, you got to understand in the making of a song that at every step, there's a different area of expertise involved. And hence, you can't micromanage every aspect of it.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So most of the artists you work with, I'm guessing, get that.
Again, so here is where engineers and producers come as specialists. So if they come to you and if they know you're good at that specific thing they want you to do, they just let you do it.
Okay.
So like most of these people come to me because it's not just making the song good, song sound good.
Yeah.
Because I make it sound good a certain way, which they like it.
Yeah.
So there are no pushbacks. They're like, yo, you do your thing. I'm here. Whatever you want, do it. However you want it, wherever you want to take the song, take it. I'm here. I'm here for it.
Is that what happened with Big Dawgs? You were allowed to take it where it needed to go? Okay, because
So those
that
are my
went
boys.
places.
Those are my boys.
Yeah.
We've been working, I mean, you know, Genghis and all of that.
Yeah.
All HMK songs. So very little conversations about, oh, the song should be like, if you just make it.
Yeah.
He does his part. He writes the song. Karmi produces it. They have a back and forth into making it a song.
Yeah.
Then it comes to mix.
Yeah.
This is me and Karmi. We'll just try new things and like, yo, can we try this? Can we try that? That's it. We don't think any further.
Is there anything about the mix of Big Dawgs that you can share with the general public that is something people should pay attention to, that is a little sprinkle that you're proud of?
Okay. So I mixed that song entirely on my headphones and mastered it on my headphones. You know, I work out of an untreated room. It's not fully soundproof. It's my bedroom. And I've been in that bedroom for like three and a half years.
Yeah.
I know the room is flawed, but I know what exactly the flaw is, so it's never stopped me. And if I go to a studio and mix, I end up coming home tweaking it because I know my room better. Big Dawgs was the anomaly in that because it was fully done in headphones, mastered in headphones. Yeah, sure, like we checked it on monitors and fine, but
Yeah.
oh yeah, there's water.
Where's water finally?
Fine.
I think we'll take all of them. नहीं हमारा ही है recording. दे दो. कितने हैं? हाँ. तो और है? दो दे दो. दे दो.
Thank you.
Oh, दो मतलब? Fine. Let me. UPI है?
Let me.
दे दो. No, let me get it. You are my guest.
Are we filming these too?
Yeah. Let the camera roll. We'll just remove it. Anything. 90. कितना हुआ? 90.
90?
Oh yeah, thank you. Cameraman. Thank you. Oh, yes. Okay, so your room is the place where the magic happens. I'm shocked at this piece of information. I think the whole world will be shocked. Oh, thanks so much.
You go to the shade?
I'm getting ready. Yeah,
You good?
I'm good. I think I'll survive. Okay, So now that we know that you mixed it in your room, is there anything in that mix that you kind of agonized over, that annoyed you for some time, took a bit of tweaking for a while?
Not really.
Not
Because
really?
the song was well produced and
Okay.
I think it took 4 to 5 hours to mix the song.
Yeah.
When we would have done like 3 rounds of back and forth on tweaks. That's it. That was one of the easiest songs we've done actually.
Okay. So was Run It Up as easy?
No.
Okay,
Run It Up was
yeah.
a different beast
I
altogether.
cannot imagine that being an easy mix.
Run It Up was different for a few reasons. One, it's the first time we're all doing something like that in terms of production. It was a very well thought out production where it's joining 2 different genres together.
Yeah.
And it was new. How do we make an 808 sound good with those kind of drums? Like,
Yeah.
never heard any material like this. So whatever we do,
We had
is
no
what it
reference
is.
points.
No reference points.
Yeah.
So the only reference point is the vocal. Okay, vocals are important and it needs to be out there. So we were just like, I think Run It Up, I did 3 to 4 versions first.
Oh.
And we were going to finalize it. And my boy called me, heard it in the club. And he was like, yo, bro, we need to really work on the mix again.
Oh,
Because
shit.
it's sounding a little different in the club. The bass is too much, so on and so forth. Then we did another mix, probably 2 to 3 rounds. And like, okay.
That start and then the bass kicks in or whatever, but like one did not imagine that kind of sound from Hanumankind, especially following up Big Dawgs.
Shout out to Kalmi for the sound, because more than mixing, I think it's his production which gave it that density and
And the vision of the, the mix.
in terms of a mix,
Yeah.
I think Kalmi did most of the thing in the production.
Okay.
So it was easy for me to not make mistakes. And it was easy for me to get to the end goal solo.
And how many layers did this one have? I'm just curious.
Probably
numbers.
like 150, 100. So on average,
Okay.
let's just say 70 to 120 is a good range. And if it's a little bit more intricate song, you can do about volume.
Oh, wow.
But again, those numbers really do not matter because let's say there are 300 stems and 50 of them are just layers. I treat those 50 as one layer. So the number there becomes a little redundant.
Every time I hear Run It Up, I don't know if you saw my reaction to it, but I had a very visceral reaction. By the time it ended, I was shaking like internally and I was in tears. I was moved to tears by the sheer power of what was coming out. So mad respect.
Okay.
Mad respect. And is there anything about that mix that you can tell us that the world doesn't know?
Run It Up. Yeah, it was, I think Run It Up was one of the very interesting / difficult mixes for me to pull it off because like you just mentioned, it needs to have that power, it needs to have that emotion, it needs to drive people. And I didn't know about the visuals. I didn't see the visuals at all until after this, like maybe probably 1 to 2 weeks before the release is when I saw. And I was like, damn, I'm glad it translated.
Yeah.
I don't know how it happened.
Yeah.
Like I was just focused on the song.
Yeah.
And then the video was like very cohesive with the emotion. I was happy. And yeah, it was also mixed and mastered on my headphones.
I think that's the biggest shocker for anyone listening.
Okay, so just to let you know, most of my mixes were from headphones.
Okay. That was one of my
Until-
questions for you. Headphones or monitors?
Both.
Oh.
I know my headphones very well, so I still, even though I got a banger of a sound system now, I still rely on my headphones a lot. Because I don't, again, it's what you know best. You need a monitor for sure.
Yeah.
Since I'm around all these monitors, I never relied on them entirely. And since I come out from an untreated room, I relied on headphones more because they gave me a true picture. And yeah.
No,
And it comes with time.
Yeah.
It's not, I wouldn't recommend if a guy is starting out mixing and like, yo, just pick a headphone and live with it. No, I wouldn't recommend that.
Okay.
Get to know monitors, get to know studio rooms, then pick your poison. Pick the gear you're comfortable with.
Yeah.
Ultimately, in the end, the average listener does not care how you mixed it, where you mixed it. Just needs to sound good.
Nice. I don't know how you got that through, but damn. Even without the video, I feel I would have felt it was like somehow there was a sense of pride that was just welling up, welling up, welling up. By the time the track finished, you're like, so mad props. Okay, we are back at a new venue. I love this. So we were dying in the heat, so we have moved indoor. Let's continue the conversation. We were talking about Run It Up and how it was mixed before I almost fainted. But I want to stay in the Hanumankind zone for a bit. You work with him now across, I think, 18 songs? Or
Yeah,
That's
18
what I
songs
see.
which are out.
which are out. Okay. So what is it about his sort of voice and his artistic identity that you get, you think, that maybe others might miss or that you feel you know really well?
I think I have a lot of conversations with him in general.
Yeah.
So I know the intention behind those words.
Okay.
And I think that helps me add a little bit more emotion to the song saying it. I know why he's saying the way he's saying it.
How many years have you guys been friends again? You said 20?
2019.
Yeah.
2019 to 6-7 years.
Okay. And when Big Dawgs was blowing up, honestly, when you finished that final mix and you sent the master and you sent the file, did you have any inkling? Did you?
No.
You were just like, "Ho gaya, ek aur gana."
New song, it's been a while.
Yeah.
Rock a song. Let's go. That's it.
So every day when you woke up and you kept seeing the things happening,
Yeah. That
Tell me about
entire
those days.
month was very, very special for all of us because it was like a domino effect.
yeah.
We just kept watching, the numbers kept going up, and yeah, it was very magical
Yeah.
and it was rewarding for sure.
When it hit the Billboard charts, did you, as someone who sonically contributed to this song, what was that kind of like? Because you have these moments where you feel like, I've arrived, man. I didn't expect to arrive right now, but I have arrived. Like, what were those kind of thoughts that you had?
Honestly, I didn't have that thought.
Okay.
I was just very nervous when I saw the song starting in Billboard.
Yeah.
First thing I did was listen to those songs. Listen to that song again in a lot of other speakers. Yo, is the mix really there? Because I listen on my headphones and what is it? What is
Making
happening?
sure.
Because all the other songs are mixed by my idols. Everything changes. The gear they use, the studios, it's the things I've seen on YouTube where, okay, he's mixing in this studio. This is how this gear was used to mix this song, and I'm here with this, packing it with just my headphone mixes. So I'm like, oh, should I have to remix it now? Should we silently replace the track? These are the thoughts in my head. I didn't speak to anyone about it, but
So it made you a little nervous?
very nervous. But
Interesting.
then I was like, okay, it's not that deep.
It's not that deep. I love that. I live my life by that. So when you knew that ASAP's jumping on the remix, what were your thoughts, one? And then when that mix came to you, how did you manage merging those worlds and those different identities, artistic identities?
So ASAP first, again, I've heard a lot of his songs.
Yeah.
It was surreal. I didn't understand why that was happening, but it happened.
Yeah.
I got the stems, and all I did for the first few minutes was just play the stems in isolation to hear the voice. And I'm hearing just his voice. I'm hearing his chains through the mic. I'm like, no, what is happening? What is happening?
You felt like a kid?
Yeah.
Like excited?
Yeah, and then I go listen to ASAP's discography again, just so that I make it sound like ASAP Rocky. I don't want to fuck it up. I don't want to mess it up. And then I did a bunch of listening. Then I just mixed it. They ended up liking it from the get-go. The song had been extended because ASAP is in it.
Yeah.
And it was just very fun. And another personal win for me while mixing, I saw my boy right next to ASAP in that song. And that's when it hit me. Okay, we're getting there.
We're in the big league.
We are getting there. We're
Yeah.
getting into the big leagues.
Yeah.
And it's that simple.
You know what I was amazed by is, I wouldn't say amazed, but I just loved that despite this entire thing blowing up so much and, Suraj reaching where he has, he's still working with his boys, you guys, on everything. Like, that's not even negotiable, which is brilliant. It just speaks so much for the brotherhood. But tell me, at what point after this, so all of this stuff is happening on Hanumankind. You're a constant in his life and on his songs. The ASAP Rocky release has happened. And you're working with all 200 plus artists or 300 plus that I've found online. How did the entry into films happen? I know you did Kwabida as well,
Oh yeah.
right? So was that the first one?
That
So I
was
wasn't able to
technically
trace
the
back.
first one as a full mixing and mastering engineer. Like,
Right.
shout out to Bharat.
Yeah, shout out to Bharat.
He trusted the sound. He
Yeah.
said, yo, Akash has to mix this. And he
Nice.
got me that song.
Love that.
And it was a very short turnaround, 2-day turnaround, I think.
So 2-day turnaround.
2-day turnaround. And 2-3 versions we got done. I was like, yo, first movie placement, let's go. And then this movie thing, interestingly, happened because of Shashwat and Hanumankind.
Okay.
So the first title track of Dhurandhar was out. It was going to come out.
Yeah.
And Hanumankind, Suraj he wanted his vocals to sound a certain way.
Right. As every artist usually does.
So he suggested, and again, very short turnaround. So the first song title track was done, very short turnaround. I didn't get to hear it. Again, it was Suraj's project. He did it.
Okay.
We knew that he was hopping on the song.
Yeah.
But Suraj wanted me to mix the vocals. Get my tone in and let's send it back. And I think they had already released the song, if I'm not wrong. And
They must have released the teaser bits of it or
yeah.
That was the first thing that came out.
So then we go like, Suraj was like, yo, I need my vocals mixed by my boy. And he got me the project. It was just the entire instrumental and with the other vocalists and Suraj's vocal separate. So I just did the vocals, sent it back. Shashwat liked it. He called me up. He was like, bro, I don't know what you did. It just works. Fast forward 2 months, I get a call from his manager saying, yo, we might have a couple of songs.
2 months.
Yeah, 2 months. 2 months or a month, I'm not sure, but yeah, around that time.
Yeah.
Yo, we might have a couple of songs from the movie.
Yeah.
Do you have the bandwidth? For sure, I have the bandwidth.
Yeah. So, yeah.
And yeah, so the first song I did there was Nal Nachna.
Okay.
So I was in Chennai, I was mixing the song, same 2-3 version, they were very happy with the output.
Yeah.
And they're like, there's going to be 2 more songs, but it's going to take some time, but it'll be the turnaround will be very short.
Yeah.
Because the movie dates are announced and we're trying to speed track the entire process. So I was like, cool.
Yeah.
And around that time is when I had planned to come to Mumbai for work, for my own work.
Okay.
So I was in the airport. Directly, these guys called. They're like, yo, bro, now it's 3 songs. Do you think we can do it in the next 4 days? It's like, okay, let me get back to you.
In the next 4 days, 3 songs.
3 songs next 4 days because they had immediate releases on YouTube. The songs had to go out on YouTube. So I'm in the airport waiting for my flight. And then I'm like, yo, anyway, I'm coming to Mumbai, so I can do it.
Yeah.
And that's when everything changed. They're like, bro, please come to our studio. Let's sit, let's talk. If you're in person, we might be able to get done sooner. Like, sure. I thought 2 days. I was coming for the initial plan was Rolling Loud. I was coming for Rolling Loud. So a day before Rolling Loud, I land here. Just to chill. A day before Rolling Loud, I land here.
Yeah.
Next thing I know, I'm at Shashwat's place, the studio. They're playing me the song. It is Ishq Dalakar. And the song was out the day after. Like I had 1 day. So again, no fancy setups, no time for nothing. Just my laptop, my headphones. I'm sitting in the dining room and I'm mixing the song.
Are you serious?
The songs were so well produced that
It
made my job a lot more easier. I
Okay.
just had to tighten the screws.
Right.
You're a little waddish. It's not
Right. Oh, damn. And sitting in
so
the
well
dining room,
produced.
you're doing it on your laptop.
Yeah,
Oh my God.
the entire movie ultimately became like that. I was either mixing it from my hotel room
Yeah.
and then going to the studio when these guys were working on the film scores.
Yeah.
They're showing it to them, showing Shashwat, yo, check it out. They're like, cool. And he's like, yo, I trust you. You do your thing. I'm not getting involved. I did my thing.
Amazing.
Then 2 tracks became 3. Then they're
Just
like,
kept going
yo.
from there and it became the
Yeah.
whole.
Then they're like, bro, I think you'll end up mixing all the songs in the album.
That is amazing.
Sure.
And your turnaround is so quick as well.
There was no
It's
time.
just-
There was no time because we were on a time crunch.
Yeah.
And we all understood our roles. We just did it.
And I can't tell you how much that soundtrack has changed the landscape because it is giving it's given us a new way of looking at remaking classics. And I mean, a lot of credit obviously to Shashwat and the way he's produced the tracks, like you said, the layout and the layers. But the way the final mix sounds, it's not the kind of mix or the kind of sound you've heard in Hindi films before. And especially with Hanumankind featuring, I think, and Rebel as well. You work with her offline as well, right? Individually.
I mixed previous songs of hers.
Yeah.
So it was very poetic to me because I worked with Hanumankind.
Yeah.
I worked with Rebel.
Yeah.
Then I'm seeing both of them are in the movie, spread across few songs. And I'm seeing them in that studio. And
Crazy.
I meet Suraj in that studio with the director and Shashwat present well. Like, damn. Feel.
Yeah, it's all your people.
Yeah.
But I feel like that has sort of, it's now going to shape culture moving forward in a big way, that soundtrack. And when you were posting on Instagram that mix mastered by yours truly, I was just, has he done the entire album? Because every song, whether it's the Nal Nachna or Lut Le Gaya, and what was that other one, which the bike one is, when they're on the bike chase, that is it Ramma Ho?
Lamba Ho, yes.
How do you take Usha Utups? And
Again,
all the
all
classes?
shout out to Shashwat.
Yeah.
All these songs, the way it's supposed to sound, it was already there.
It was already like
The while production, one thing I learned from Shashwat is
Yeah.
that guy is fast. That guy doesn't have time he doesn't spend time to think or overthink. He likes it. No more back thoughts,
no
nothing.
overthinking,
He's very confident. I like this will work. That's it. That kind of
Instinctive.
energy
Yeah.
was new to me coming from an independent scene. Because in all due respect, they are working under extreme time crunches and they're working on a lot of things at the same time. So they can't afford to have opinions. So whatever they do has to be the 100% product, like it should be there.
Yeah.
That's something I picked up from them.
Yeah.
Like, okay, they're moving like machines.
Yeah.
So I need to be a machine as well. And it's not like a traditional, yo, these are the songs. Here, sit in the studio, or this is my studio. I'm going the entire, I think 11 songs we did it in less than 9 days. The entire Dhurandhar.
That's more than a song a day.
Easily. And
Oh my
it
God.
would have taken me 45 minutes to 1 hour for a song. That's it, in all honesty. In iterations, sitting with him like this, he'll be in the couch listening to it from his phone, I'll be in the laptop. Quick, no extra, no fancy gear, this, that. We just made it work. And that's it.
And you trust your ears that much that it's,
Yeah.
we know it sounds good, it's done.
If I get the if I'm enjoying the song, I know it's good.
Yeah.
And sure, I do, like, I'll know, okay, this can be better. Maybe in the later stages, I had that. After release, I'll be like, yeah, this could have been better. But like I told you earlier, I like to think fast. I want to keep moving. I want to keep moving to the next and the next and the next. So
Yeah. So working fast, you picked up from Shashwat. Was there anything, because when you're mixing the song and it's been produced, does your producer mind kick in, and did you like pick up things that you could use as a producer in the future?
Of course. He gave me that space.
Yeah.
Like, make this sound however. Like, if you have, I think Jalaka kept going a lot of rounds because the bass line, we kept like working on the bass line here and there.
Yeah.
And overall, but with Shashwat's thing, it was there. 99% everything was there.
Okay.
It could be the vocal reverb, it could be the reverbs on Arjit Singh vocal.
Yeah.
It was all predefined by him.
Okay.
So without it, the song is dead.
Yeah.
Without that reverb, that amount of reverb, because I would normally not use that much reverb on a song like that.
Okay.
Because I go by, okay, this is the standard.
Yeah.
But then he's like, no, I want this much reverb. And then I was a little skeptical, but why so much reverb on a song like this? Then he removed the reverb, the song was dead.
You got it.
I
Yeah.
was like, okay.
Now it makes
Yeah.
sense. Oh, nice.
Then I just blindly, whatever he stems he gave, I
Yeah.
said, I'm done.
Yeah.
Here you go, take it. Here you go, take it. It was a very fun experience.
So that Move, the song with Rebel and Sonu Nigam, Move, na, it was in that when Rebel's finishing her verse and Sonu's vocals are sort of faintly in the background, was that Shashwat or was that?
It was predominantly Shashwat. I just made sure it worked. That's all.
Oh, damn.
See, that's a good
Insane.
production.
Yeah.
That's what I meant earlier. If the production is good,
Yeah.
you don't have to worry about mixing or mastering.
Yeah.
It just slaps. You get your idea out. You see, as producers and sound technicians, we listen to music a certain way in our head. And how good we are is completely based on how we translate that sound to the audience. So a great producer, he's hearing something and I'm able to hear it the way he's hearing it because he laid it out so well for me. Now it's my job to make sure the entire audience, whoever is hearing it, it reaches to their ear in that same way.
Yeah. And they feel what it's meant to
Exactly.
make them feel.
Exactly.
So besides this reverb thing where you were like, bye, was there anything else in those songs that you
Yeah, in the song Easy Easy,
yeah.
so there's this section where Hanumankind comes in, the drums change, it becomes a rock type, like live recorded drums. That was a tricky thing to work on because the song goes a little silent, then it gets extremely loud.
Very loud, yes.
Very loud. And
So it's right after Diljit's vocals,
Yeah,
which
right
are
after.
almost like
Yeah.
just solo vocals almost,
yeah.
right? That's
And then an entire band comes in. So I either get the chance to make the rest of the song louder, keep it in the same volume, keep the break in the same volume, or work the other way around. Or reduce the volume of Hanumankind's part. So it all sounds cohesive.
Yeah.
So that we had a little back and forth because I wasn't able to crack in the first attempt.
Okay.
Because the loudness, it was very steep and it was sort of hurting my ear at the start. Then we figured it out eventually.
Okay. Damn, that is another insane section. I'm trying to remember while you're telling me, because I am such a fan of that soundtrack and someone who's worked with Bollywood music for so long, it's a game changer. It's honestly a game changer. So as the songs kept coming to you, first you said 2 songs, then it kept increasing, and then the whole thing happened. And at any point during that time, you must have heard the songs without the mix. And you must have heard the remakes of the classics and Tere Nahi Karara or Ramba Ho or whatever. At any point, did you feel intimidated that, yo, I'm stepping into a space where... And also you said Hindi is not your mother tongue and it's not your space. So you're kind of touching songs that are, in people's blood and DNA. Am I going to be able to do this? Was that ever a thing?
If I'm being very honest,
Yeah.
I didn't know any references like that. I didn't even know these are old songs.
Oh,
Except Ramba Ho, because the audio which I got felt old.
was the... Yeah.
Till then, because there's no time to discuss there. We're just moving like machines and I had no context.
Oh.
After it came
They didn't
out,
tell you
they,
the weight that we're dealing with.
no,
the
I
legacy.
didn't. I'm glad they didn't because then
Yeah.
I would have probably thought too much.
Yeah.
I didn't have that
Okay, nice.
layer of information.
Yeah.
I just went on again. Like I
And
said, I'm
finished the
mixing
job.
sound,
Yeah.
mixing the sound, mixed it. Then after the release, weeks after the release, I'm checking Instagram. why does Ishq Jalakar sound familiar? Then they're like, there's an old song. That's when I'm like, okay, they are sampled.
This is crazy. You worked on the mixes and you didn't know that you were dealing with legacy stuff.
I think one song I knew because my friends were literally, yo, this is an old song. But I didn't understand the depth it held. I didn't understand how important they were.
So maybe that was a crucial factor in you just being objective about it and just making like elevating.
I think so. I don't want any backstories unless it's like directly related to the artist. Because for sure I would have overthought, oh damn, there's so much I need to, like, for example,
look after and be careful
if I'm given a song and they're like, yo, mix this song.
Yeah.
If you mix it and release it, it will definitely land on the billboards.
Yeah.
I would have approached it very differently.
Oh, that does play on your mind.
Yeah, 100%. Then you start thinking about third-party factors, like, oh, this song. Let's just say I knew what those songs were meant to be. Oh, damn. Okay, now let me go listen to that song. Let me see how it is processed. Let me see how I can bring that. There's no time for all
There's no
that.
time, yeah.
So, yeah.
Okay, interesting. This is something that I think the audience will be shocked to hear that you didn't know. But in this entire project, which song, and you can be rapid in your answers for these, which one took the longest time? I know you did all 11 in 9 days, but which one took the longest time?
Lut Le Gaya?
Lut Le Gaya.
Because I did it, sorry, not Lut Le Gaya, Nal Nachna.
Oh.
Because I did it in Chennai and I had my space, so there was no timelines or restrictions, so I took time.
Okay.
It didn't take time, I just took my time.
You took your time with it. What was the most difficult one to mix?
Difficult one was Easy.
The one you said. What was the easiest?
Ishq Jalakar.
Because you did it.
So that was the first song after I landed, and yeah, it was very quick.
It was just boom, it's ready. What was it like mixing Gehra Hua with Arijit on it?
What are the odds?
Oh, he's right here. Man's retired from this, but that was his last. Was it his last film song? And you mixed it? I don't know. Are there more coming out? I don't know.
Maybe.
He's retired from.
Yeah, again, Gehra Hua, very simple. The project was very simple. It had very few elements.
Yeah.
I think that was the quickest song we mixed out of the project.
You've never done an Arijit mix before this, no? Like, yeah, it's the first film one.
Yeah.
Damn. That would, like, if I was you, I'd be like, I'm mixing Arijit song.
Because I come from the south and I don't have much reference to northern media and movies, I think I took
that
it
works
very
in your
lightly.
favor.
I think it did.
Yeah. Okay, nice. And what, after the whole Dhurandhar experience, it's gone on to become the highest grossing Hindi film of all time in the history of Hindi films. And your name is stamped on that soundtrack. Like, it's a huge thing. I just want to know what's your biggest learning after this, professionally also and personally also. Okay.
Professionally, one thing is, again, don't overthink. Just get to the finish line soon because there's no time. There is no time. If it wasn't for you, anyone could have done it. The reason I was picked was because I was ready and I was prepared. And I was diligent.
Nice.
And then they realized, oh, this guy actually got it. He can do more songs and more, and we're liking his sound. So had I not been a little bit more like ready, then I probably wouldn't have gotten this. And personally, patience again. And
you can't say patience every time. There's something else you have to say. Like, you know.
I think I'm very simple person.
I learned that I like doing this something.
Like,
It's such a big this thing, right? Maybe like the success of it I'm not moved by success. Or I'm okay, I approach everything with the same.
Same, along that line. Yeah, along that line.
Yeah. It doesn't matter to you what song you mix, how big it becomes after. You're still.
So if I'm listening to my mixes after 5 years and if I still feel the same way, I'm happy. So that's it. That's simple.
That's nice. Okay, so okay, this you may or may not be able to answer this one, but how much can you tell us about Dhurandhar 2 if you're in the project? You're not. You are.
I can't say that yet.
Okay, I think I got my answer. So, it's fine. Okay, now let's just we talked about Frappe when we were walking. I want to come back to that because you've impacted the Indian hip-hop scene in a big way. You work across the board with so many artists. Yashraj, and you go back a long way. You've produced for him, we'll come to that. Aftab, Rebel, you mix for Karma, mix and master for him. You know? Even Bhar, Char Diwali, Raval, you work with all of them. I don't think I'm missing many, but it's such a long list of yours to go through. Tell me that, how do you ensure you maintain the artistic identity of each person when you're working on their track?
So, I think it's a little different here because the sonic integrity each artist they have for themselves.
Yeah.
They cement that while making the song.
Yeah.
But from what I know, I have a certain sonic for which these people come to me in specific. It's not to make a song sound clean and good. It's to make it sound my wish.
Yeah. It's
That's
like
where-
an Akash Shravan mix is what they're looking
Yeah.
for.
And doesn't mean like, so I do a certain sound a certain way.
Yeah.
And if, let's say, any of these artists are working on a sound like that, I'll be the first one they reach out to. But if that's not the case, if it's a little tonally, a little different kind of mix, there are other engineers they reach out to. So all the structural, the integrity of the song is already there.
Yeah.
It's my job to add the last 5%. So if my 5% works on your song, we might work on another song after. That's how all these guys, that's how this happens, at least with me.
And you said something very interesting to me recently. Was that my brain is coded like a rapper, but I can't rap. So what was it you said? But I try to paint it into a beat.
Yeah.
Right? This is after Pyas.
Yeah.
And I felt like, what is this song? It just sonically feels like I'm moving from one chapter into another. And explain this whole statement to me. Your brain is coded like a rapper, obviously.
So my introduction to modern music is through rap.
Yeah.
I was so into rap music where I used to dissect all the bars. I mean, be like, I can catch references. I'm a big hip hop head like that.
Okay.
So, but I did try rapping when I was young.
You did
I was
try?
young, but I realized it's not for me.
Okay.
I just didn't turn that page ever.
But still in the future.
No.
No?
No.
Okay.
But then I liked, it wasn't just the words. It was the palette on which the words were laid, which kept. So rap beats are usually very monotonous. There's nothing in the beat back then. It's just a loop.
Yes.
But you still heard a 6-minute song.
Yeah.
How? The producers created a bed for the rappers to be emotional.
Yeah.
And Kanye West, Dr. Dre's, your DJ Premier, all of these guys sort of started breaking that barrier by adding more melodies, making it more conversational.
Yeah.
Like you can hear the instrumental and you can still understand what the song could be about. It will take you to a place or a time and you will actually have emotions to say.
Yeah.
That's when I was like, okay, I don't think I have anything to say, but I can definitely write some music where people can say their part. And I can make beats in a certain way where it doesn't have to be entirely monotonous, but give an artist a space to rap whatever they want to. It doesn't have to be hype and like all jumpy stuff. Just talk real stuff like. So then I started approaching music like that. When I'm making a beat, okay, I set myself a story. This is why I'm making this beat. So this section is so on and so forth. And then it goes to this. So it's sort of like an arrangement thing in the production where I try to use multiple samples, chop it up, create a story of my own. And that will resonate with any of these rappers I send to. And then we work from there.
Oh, because I was going to ask, that was my next question. You said this is why I don't sell beats. So in my head, when you told me this, I was thinking, so I think the lyrics come first and then Akash produces a beat for the written lyrics. But you also make...
That I've done very rarely. Like, it's always 9 times out of 10. Actually, I'd say 9.5 times out of 10. I make a beat.
Yeah, most
I place it to the right artist.
Okay.
And then I get a verse. Then I build around it.
Okay. So you do build the base. But
I think producers, they do most of them.
Because I was making my question, I was like, how was it possible? Because, cool. So with Yashraj, it's not that he's written, you've given him the thing and then he's...
And sometimes he'll just come up with an idea. Like, these are, again, since I don't understand Hindi like that, I can't catch the references, none of that. It's just music. I just hear, okay, he's saying, the way he says this is cool. So let me try to make something like this.
Yeah. And so now coming to Frappe and the way his sonic is, it's very in between hip hop and commercial pop and all of that, right? And the way you mix the layers on his tracks, first of all, Frappe mad, he's a mad artist. But how do you balance? There's aggression and grit on one side in some tracks, and then there's this bouncy, happy cheerfulness. I don't know where I'm going with this, but how do you really know which elements to not put on a Frappe track, for example, because you're kind of sonically working in a non-popish way, space most of the time, no?
So that's where you mentioned the on-off switch comes in place. I'll do only what's required. I play it very safe. If I'm dealing with multiple things at the same time, it depends. If the project is big, there's a lot of time. Let's say it could be a Frappe, it could be anyone. They're like, yo, we have time, let's figure this out. Then my mind works differently. But nowadays it just comes with deadlines. Like, yo, the ingestion date is this, can we mix this? So then I'm like, okay, I'm going to do what's best to save the song. Not save the song, sorry. Like, to make it sound the best it can be. From there we take. So I only look at it like in a very short lens. Okay, that song, whatever can happen, it can happen between the elements. I'm not adding more, I'm not removing anything. Then I make it work. Then I move on to the next song. Because there have been days where I mix a song like Jungle in the morning.
Yeah.
And in the noon I mix a song like Yarawa.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
I would have taken 2 days off after Jungle.
I would love to, but
Just saying. Okay, got it. So you have that on-off switch thing down pat.
I think it's getting better over time. That's
Yeah.
what I've tried, yeah.
Yeah. So that's the restraint you kind of practice. Like, let me not try and add more. Let me just work.
See,
with
not every
what is
song
there.
needs something more.
Yeah.
All these songs, again, great producers. It's coming from a very good place. So I don't let my ego get in between. I'm like, okay, I need to add something because I'm doing it. I don't do that. I listen. Before I start to work, I listen. It's good, great, more.
So for anyone who wants to be an
critical
engineer,
listening, yeah.
how would you define critical listening to them? What's the first thing they need to approach the song with?
First, listen to what you have. Listen to the material. Then do an evaluation in your head. Is this making, read the track title, listen to the hook, listen to the verses. Is it making you feel whatever the song
Any
is?
kind of way, yeah.
Yeah, any kind of way.
Yeah.
Or do you naturally incline towards, oh, but I want this there in that song, this is missing. Listen to that.
Okay.
And
Keep
you
your
might,
emotions on.
yeah. And
Yeah.
do not always keep your emotions on as well, because some tracks are already done. They just come into you for that finesse.
Polish.
Treat it like that. There, you don't have to go be the savior.
Okay. I like that. Don't have the savior syndrome complex. Sorry.
I'm not gonna lie, I had it when I was young. When I was starting out, I thought, okay, I am mixing, so it needs to be, my touch needs to be there.
The arrogance of youth, I call these things.
Yeah.
You gotta have a.
Yeah, no, that's there in any
It comes
creator, I
with-
feel.
yeah.
Like,
True.
if you're adding some value to someone or some song, I think you naturally incline towards giving something.
Yeah.
But I just stop. Like, if it's good, it's good. I don't want to touch it.
Yeah.
In fact, there's been a lot of times where people come to me for mixing and mastering. I'll be like, bro, the song's already well mixed. I don't want to mix. Let me just master if you want.
Yeah.
Sometimes I don't take the project because it sounds good already.
It's
Just put it
already
out. Like, don't overthink it.
That's crazy. Okay. So you're very objective with that feedback also.
Yeah, because I don't want to take something break. I don't want to fix a problem by creating one.
Okay. So be very real when an artist comes to you, and it's not about adding your stamp. Just do what's best for the
You need to know if your stamp is required.
I like that. Okay. Today, do you feel Indian hip hop is still like finding its sonic identity, or are we kind of, I mean, after Big Dawgs and having worked on that, we do kind of have a space where we've introduced the world to this is what Indian hip hop can sound like. And Bijoy said something amazing and all about music. He was like, we're going to do it our way, and we're going to show the world that this is Indian hip hop, and you're contributing sonically so much to that. But overall, the landscape as you see it today, have we got that sonic identity, you think?
We're getting there. We're definitely getting
yeah.
there. We have a lot of variety, like just like our country, because you can hear
The different.
so much palettes. Like recently, even with Frappe, specifically Frappe is coming to my mind, that ice cream project. The colors, just sheer colors. It's not like Tuzo didn't intend it to be like one of like, oh, this needs to be crystal clear. He did his thing.
Yeah.
And it translated well.
Yeah.
Another thing is Sardar. All these are like different anomalies in our field. I think they're just trying to, Yashraj, any artist, like there's variety. There's so much variety.
Yeah.
Just like our country, I think the scene has its own taste.
What do you think we can improve, and like not improve, but just work more towards
In terms of,
in the space, in the artistic space? Like something you would like to see artists do more of, or steer more towards?
spend some time while you're working on your music and let it not be like a manufacturing, mechanical thing. I think it's becoming a little mechanical. I think it's becoming a little formulated.
Sez said the same thing in his stories.
Oh.
Something on these lines. I asked Youngie about it in the last episode as well. That thoda formulaic wo ho raha hai. A lot of artists are playing safe. That hunger seems.
I mean, I get it. I get playing safe, but we can play safe tastefully is what I feel.
Oh, explain that a little bit.
Sure, if it's like you want to put it out in a certain way with a certain label backing, you are expected to make a song a certain way. But it doesn't have to be a boilerplate thing. Like you follow exactly that. Put your own touch to it. Put a little bit more. Try to sell it. Again, as artists, the entire thing is selling our music, right?
Yeah.
Sell it to the label first.
Sell it to the label first. But a lot of labels don't take on the more experimental sounds that, you know.
That's sure. That's a different conversation for another day. But I'm just saying, if you know it's going to be formulated,
Yeah.
have your own touch to it. You are
Okay, got it. Okay.
3 artists making 3 different projects for the same album, same label. Doesn't all have to sound similar just because it's coming from the same label.
If your name's on it, how do you make it sound like your name is the only name that would be on it?
I would sit and speak with the artist and the producer and see how we can have our own pace to it, have our own touch to it. How to not entirely go by the book. Where is the loophole? What can we break? I think that's where the conversation would start.
After Dhurandhar and all the big moments that you've had, it's a very short span of time, let me say, and you're already with the work you've done and the catalog you've created, huge cultural impact is happening. Are you feeling some kind of like a sense of responsibility that I'm a culture contributor, a culture shaper today?
I haven't thought
these
about it
thoughts?
like that until you just brought it up.
Let me tell you, you are. You are kind of shaping the culture in a big way.
No, I'll just go back to my place. I'll mix another song. That's the max I look at it. It's easier that way.
As a producer, are you going to do more?
Yeah, of course. The reason for me to start mixing is so
Exactly.
I can find time to produce.
Exactly.
That's never happening. But yeah, I am producing. I am making songs with my boys. Instead, we have to finish it and put it out at some point. So
Okay.
there's a lot of songs being made.
So this year we'll see more of your
100%.
songs that you produced. And Pyas was the first of how many?
So me and Yashraj have so much songs in the world. Like on the road. Yeah.
Really?
There's so much song we've yeared and shelved because either he'll get busy or I'll get busy and I can't go follow through and finish it on time. And there are
But
so
you're
many
finishing everything within a day.
songs. See, mixing.
You got to prioritize the stuff you're producing.
That's what the entire
Right?
scene tells me. But yeah.
Because I want to I cannot even, you did Bura Bhala and Qaida Faida as well. And you were telling me because at that time, I didn't realize and I would read credits, but I wouldn't really remember. And off late, your name is there in the credits so often that of course, no one can really miss it if they're paying attention. Do you not have, I get that there's only so much time in a day, but do you not want to revisit those songs that you've produced with him and then now just find the time to just start releasing?
Well, that's the thing. So when you're mixing multiple songs a day,
Yeah.
you just get very sick of it towards the end of the day, and you're like, no more music. I don't listen to music other than what I'm
than
mixing.
work.
That's how it's
I was going to ask you this because even when you do, you're probably listening to music now as a engineer.
Yeah, no,
I-
there's not enjoy. Sure, I don't have the patience to sit through a song, and I only listen to music when I'm at the gym, like songs which I'm not involved,
Damn.
like
Yeah.
music in
Yeah,
general.
yeah. Occupational hazards.
Yeah, just how much more can you listen? Like you listen through the day to night, and
That's, I can imagine at your, because even at my listing my space, I struggle with the same thing. I'm like, I don't listen to songs anymore beyond my recording sessions. I just cannot. How much will I listen? Then I just move to podcasts.
Yeah.
And it's, but it's sad because I was going to ask you, can you listen to a song now that just plays and not have your technical brain kick in?
oh, that definitely. I don't think any producer or engineer can. Once you get into that, that's it.
Shit.
Yeah, I think anybody can verify this. If you're producing and if you're mixing or let it be, you're just an artist, you start listening to layers, there's no going back. It's a fun thing. It's a very satisfying thing to do.
So you enjoy listening to the songs like that?
love enjoy
Okay.
listening.
Okay, as long as it's not kill the thing for you.
No, it's just that I wouldn't prefer listening to any song
Okay.
after I'm done with the day.
Yeah.
There's no more emotions left in me to give it to another song.
That.
Yeah.
You're emotionally drained at the end of it. Oh
Emotionally,
my God.
physically,
Yeah,
mentally,
mentally.
okay, now quiet
Switch
time, so
off.
next day I can start it again.
So how do you unwind then? You go to the gym.
No, I start my day with the gym, so I do all the listening before I start my work. And then I go, I'm not a night owl, I can't work in the nights.
It's a day job for you.
Yeah, for me it's a day. We're coming from a day job.
Yes.
I'm so rigid with my routines. Like I need to wake up, be up by 6, 7. I need to be up, go work out, come back,
Yeah.
eat, then start the work. Then blink, it's 8 p.m. Probably go for a walk, come back, sleep. That's it.
Nice. The walk is my end of day thing as well. So I feel it really helps you switch off, right?
Yeah.
I'm going to ask you some quick, rapid fire
Sure.
type questions. Favorite song you've ever mixed?
Run it up.
Favorite artist you worked with? Don't say Hanumankind. We know that.
Yashraj.
Okay. Hardest mix you've ever done?
Hardest. Run it up.
You know?
Yeah.
My God, the way you use it. Okay, anyway. One.
Actually, I'd put Run It Up and Jungle. Jungle was hard for different reasons because I had to clean up the track. There was so much happening. I had to give space for each and everything. And it was on a very short time. So,
when I heard that track, that's the first thought I had. I know you messaged me because I was just like, how did he mix this?
yeah, I remember seeing that reaction. Yeah.
Okay, one artist, dead or alive, that you wish you could have worked with, or a song that you wish you could have.
Does it have to be from our scene or
Both, not our scene and our scene.
Kendrick?
Okay.
I want to work with Kendrick. It's
Yeah.
my inspiration.
Yeah.
And
Maybe it'll happen.
yeah, that's about it.
Okay. In India, any artist you want to work with or any song you wish you had worked on? Just because you love the song so much.
I'm not able to think of one.
Say 2, 3. I want to know what Akash Shravan enjoys now listening to.
So I think I really like Dhurandhar by Yashraj.
Yeah.
But it was before.
Before you guys said
Yeah, that song. And
Nice.
artist who I see. There's so much. I'm not able to pick one name. There's so much coming in my head. I think early Divine, like 2016 Divine.
Yeah.
When he used to rap in English, that Divine.
Oh, the English Divine.
Yeah.
Insane. You've been listening since forever, no?
Yeah.
So, is there an artist in the Indian scene you want to work with that you haven't worked with yet?
No, I am working with whoever I wanted to work with.
Okay.
So,
Okay. And you can't tell us.
not yet.
Okay. Coffee or tea in the studio?
Tea, always.
Always. Lot of sugar?
Average. No, not a lot.
I'm just asking because a lot of 4Gs say that they fight wars on tea with a lot of sugar in it. So this is kind of like, how many hours can you mix before your ears say done?
So I take breaks. There's no specific time. I mix for 20 minutes, then I take a break and again 20. I don't sit. Okay, that.
Okay.
It's very crucial for me.
Okay.
I can't I've never sit like for hours together. Of course, I would have taken the day. It would have been in pockets.
Okay, best advice you got about engineering, audio engineering?
Don't overthink that shit.
Worst advice?
Worst advice is use your ears. It's very common. They say use your ears.
Use your ears. Okay.
I'd say use your eyes too. They just mean don't look at the meters. Just keep listening.
Okay.
Coming up, it was I found it but I'm not able to listen the way you're supposed to listen. So I use, that's the saying in the engineering community, always use your ears. Sure, use your ears, but also use your eyes is what I'd say.
Nice. And I think I know this. Headphones or monitors?
Now I'll say both, but 1 year ago, if you'd asked me, I'd say headphones.
Okay. Interesting. Independent artists in India, the scene is booming, obviously. What would you say to those who can't yet afford expensive mixing?
You just don't need this. Get your sounds right and don't focus. So think of mixing as reinvestment in your craft. Think of anything you invest in your music as reinvestment. And don't let it hold you back because we're in a digital era. All the sounds which are coming by default are sounding good. So let mixing not be like a stagnation point. It'll slow you down and you won't release music. Just keep putting it. A good engineer, if he likes it, like, yo, I'll mix a track for free. That's it, you got yourself an engineer.
Oh, damn. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Interesting. So you're saying don't focus so much on the mixing.
don't be
just put
stuck.
your tracks out. Yeah.
Don't be stuck. You don't have to finish it.
Yeah. Finish it. Done is better than perfect, is what you're saying. Yeah, I agree. Okay. And this I really want to, I don't know if you'll have an answer for this, but as we end, you're shaping culture in a big way. And when, say, 20, 30 years down the line, if someone has ever heard of you, but they hear a song that you've mixed, what do you want them to feel?
I want them to feel, that's it.
You want them to feel.
Just don't, probably what I felt when I was working on that song.
Yeah.
But I think it's a very common question for all the artists.
Yeah.
I think any artist would tell you the same answer.
Just feel.
Feel.
Okay.
Have some emotions.
Yeah. And what's the one thing you would tell your 5 or 10-year-old self or your 2011 self today?
I'm glad you didn't stop.
Glad you didn't stop. That, I get that. It's just about, going through. Because you had a day job and you were also in
5-ish
college.
years.
Yeah. So when did you leave that? Just to
2023.
2023.
Yeah, 23 March.
23 March. Okay. And what's your final sort of thing for where do you see Indian music, the independent music scene and Indian hip hop over the next 5 years? Where do you see us going?
I think there's going to be ups and downs. We're going to plateau and go up.
You don't think we're plateauing right now?
We are. In a year, I think we plateau twice at least. That's how I look at it in a very short frame.
Okay.
And it just keeps repeating over and over. I think we built a very substantial base for ourselves where we can make money off our music. So the more artists who take use of that, the scene's gonna get bigger. There's gonna be a lot more engineers who are getting paid, lot more producers who want to produce because they think they'll get paid.
Right.
So the economy will go up.
And do you think, my last question is because I want to know your take on this. A lot of times the mix master engineers and sometimes even like other people who contributed to a track, they are not mentioned in the credits on different platforms. The metadata just doesn't show your names. Like I didn't see your name in the Dhurandhar songs on Spotify on the app itself. So is there something you want to say about that? You wish the industry could go?
I think it's definitely because, but I also get why, and I'm not entirely supporting that.
Yeah.
I think, so now mixing or anything behind the scenes, let it be a music, apart from music directors, anything. So music directors are not just one guy. There's like 5 other music producers, arrangers sitting and working. Now it's becoming a cool thing to mention that. Engineers have become cool now.
Yeah.
Back, like 10 years back, engineers were like these old people sitting behind the console mixing the tracks. They didn't want, they didn't want nothing more than that. Now in this era, everything is cool. Everyone's become cool.
Yeah.
So now we have to ask for it, and people still don't. But I make sure I ask, wait, I work for it. Sure, I'm getting paid, but where's my name?
Yeah. Even Dhark said this. He said, I fought for every, like, my name to show.
And in the movie scene, it's not just one. You don't just tell one guy and he go helps you out. It has to go through a team, and then they have. So I think mandatory, you need to start saying it upfront. These are the
non-negotiables.
But again, it's a very big industry. Coming from an independent scene is different. Nobody, it's casual. You tell put my name, it's there.
Yeah.
But when it comes to movies, a lot of teams involved, a lot of conglomerates involved, and you get lost in the translation.
Yeah. So I think that kind of shift in the work culture and understanding will also take time. It will happen. It's happening.
It's happening. I'm not complaining because it's already better.
It's already better.
They're getting better.
Lovely. So you're shaping the culture in that way also.
Yeah.
And in the other ways that we love. So thank you so much for joining me. We've had a bit of a crazy day today with all the outdoor walking, but he has a flight to catch, and we are.
Thank you for having me.
Anytime. I'm
show.
so happy we could do this. Oh, thank you. I'm so happy we could do this because I was like, Akash Shravan, the man, is killing it behind the scenes, and we need to know who he is and what he's about, where he's come from, where he's been, where he's going. You have not revealed anything to us that you couldn't reveal, although I tried to get it out. But thank you so much.
Thank you.
Yay.